Okay, good morning, afternoon, good night. This is Richard Solomon with a much delayed edition of the PhD Chronicles. I have no idea what number this is, and I am not going to make any great effort to find out. When I post it, I think I will number it correctly. It's been a while. We are now in what I would like to describe mostly a post-COVID world, and although it has not yet been declared endemic, the COVID-19 pandemic anyhow. But here we are, and I thought I would bring a bit of an update as I drive to the office this morning, which is a short drive away, but all the same, a bit of an update as to the progress. So I mostly completed my literature review. And if you go into some of the previous videos, you'll probably get a good sense of what that was about. And then went on to do a first draft of the methodology chapter, right? So lit review, I believe that's chapter 2, and then methodology chapter 3. And if I'm wrong on the numbers, this is very stale in my brain because I had not been paying the kind of attention and putting the amount of focus I probably should be. So completed those, had some challenges in terms of the committee, the supervisory committee, the committee that oversees the work. Along with my supervisor, we reconstituted the committee and then received, we had one member of the committee who gave a whole lot of feedback that really threw me for a loop, and I'll explain. I had completed 2 courses, two particular taught courses that I had to complete. I had an A and an A+ in them, and then you embark on your directed reading and start to put together your documents, your literature review, and so on. And so this was an ongoing process. My supervisor at the time, still my supervisor, said, this is good, you can progress to the next chapter. Only to be given a 4-page write-up from a new committee member that pretty much said, nope, this is not good, you need to go and do a rewrite. Please understand that I have quite possibly close to 300+ citations, which would mean that I have consulted over 300 sources to put together the literature review. And while there isn't a particular number that is required, and it's quite possible that I have overdone it, it is a large body of work. And so for the last, I want to say year and a half, I have been really not very focused on the PhD. I did not feel comfortably about having to, what I thought was, redo such a large body of work. And understand that for me, a PhD is a nice to have. It's something I want and I want to work towards, but it is not something that I need. It's something that I would like. So I kind of put it on the back burner. I think along with that, I know along with that, the recovery now from COVID, and the now travel has reopened, so traveling is always very interruptive, and then there's just demands from in terms of my client work, and demands in terms of other things that have to be taken care of, the various businesses that I'm involved in or own. So it's suffice it to say, there's a lot that occupies my time. And I felt, and still to some degree feel, that it would not be the best use of my time to spend it in essentially redoing that amount of work. And so I've been in this place now, I think maybe for a year and a half, or maybe not that much, but somewhere in that vicinity, possibly a year, maybe a year and a quarter. And it is not for a want of making efforts to restart. But I'm not a quitter. Yeah, and I decided to put this on here because, very often when people present realities, or they present these kinds of videos, they tend to do them in a I have succeeded kind of a way. I am doing well, and I would much rather, what I'm doing here is chronicling the journey. And so this particular stage that I'm in today, right now, is part of the journey. It is as much a part of the journey as my 4.0 grade point average. Yes. And so I called upon my supervisor. This is part of her job, is to help. And I said to her, I'm really in a slump because of these things. Can we meet? We had a meeting yesterday. And she said, she's a very level-headed, Dr. Pasadi is extremely level-headed and calm. At least she comes over to me and he was very calm. She said, okay, slow down. Let's do two things. Because clearly she's saying to me now, this feedback and where you are now, it's kind of thrown you for a loop. And you've lost some of that, this is my word, some of that motivation that you had. As far as this PhD is concerned. And she did say, she said, I have no doubt that you can do this. There's no doubt in my mind that you can do it. You've done a lot of the work already. Because honestly, I have considered just either quitting altogether or starting over with a different university, tabula rasa, clean slate, so that I can, with my knowledge of how this process goes, because there's a fair amount of subjectivity in the process. And she says, well, hold on, let's do this. And she says, one, send me the feedback that you got from that committee member and let me digest it and see what the big things are. And maybe I'll see something a little bit or a lot different to you with my experienced eyes. And then she said, knowing that particular colleague, she's very exacting, but the PhD does have some wiggle room. And she said, the other thing to do is go through your lit review with a highlighter, which would be in the digital arena, in digital world, it's not a physical highlighter, but go through the lit review and highlight and look for certain things and come back to me and let's talk again. So that's where I am. I registered in June. We started in September, October 2019. So I am just crossed my 3-year mark. The university gives, that's the University of Trinidad and Tobago, gives a minimum of 3 years to complete your PhD. And I honestly thought I could be done in 3 years, but here I am. Of course, I know people who have taken 1. I know people who have taken 10. So it's not fixed. I think typically people take 5 years to complete. Of course, I'm with my overachieving brain. I say, yeah, man, I could get this done in 3 years. But 3 years, here I am. So this is where I am, and that's what I'm going to do. I am going to go back through that lit review. It's my writing, and I like my own writing, so it should be easy to read and highlight as I've been asked. And then we'll probably set up a working session to see how we can progress. But as I said before, this is part of the journey, and a journey is very rarely perfectly smooth. And the victories come from the journey. Yeah, so this is not very academic, this whole conversation, this particular installment of the PhD Chronicles, for those of you who look at it. It's not academic, but it's just based on the realities and where I am at this point in time. So as you listen to this, send me some positive energies. I know I need them. And I'm going to try to get back on the wagon. I said to my youngest daughter, who's finishing her bachelor's, she'll be done in maybe about 9 months. I said to her, I'm thinking of quitting, and she says, Daddy, no. I said, I've fallen and I can't get up. I have fallen off the wagon and I can't get up. She says, Daddy, no, you have to finish, which was very motivational. I'm not sure she knows how motivational that was for me. So send me some positive energies. If you're a praying person, pray for me. And I'm going to try my best and see how with the help of my supervisor, I can get back on the journey. Otherwise, I'm doing well. I'm in great health. I had a little flu, but nothing much. It wasn't COVID. No, it wasn't COVID. But I'm doing well. Business is on the way back up. And, you have peaks and troughs, but we all took a hit for COVID. So here we are now. But doing well generally. And I'll ask you to stay with me, albeit I am spotty in these uploads. but I'm going to try my best to reconnect. And I think this is also therapeutic for me to just say this out to others. There are at least 2 people I know who have contacted me and said, I've started my PhD because of what you've been saying. So I'm really glad about that. I didn't say I would tell this to the public or in terms of who they are, so I won't say that, but I'm really happy about that. And if you're considering a PhD, contact me, leave me a comment or a question. Happy to hear from you. Take best care wherever you are in the world, and your families. Be careful. We live in a very interesting and topsy-turvy world. My best to you.